Hello and welcome to the United Devil channel with me, JB, for this watch along for the pre-season game United versus Leeds. Now, look, ignore the teams at the moment because the teams are not quite right. When the teams come out, I will update them as well. So, look, guys, I hope you're all doing extremely well. It's match day. I'm back. I've missed doing this. I definitely have missed doing this. So look, I'm going to as soon as the teams come out, I am going to keep it up and I will be changing over the teams as well. So as soon as I do know about those. Now look, guys, get into the chat. Let me know about today. Let me know what you think about today. Let me know what you think about the rumours coming out. Lewis Hall has obviously been spoken about again today. Camavinga's coming out. I mean, there are so many different things. But look, I'm just gonna whilst we're chatting, I'm literally just gonna try and find the team so I can update the team on the screen. But look, guys, yeah, it is really a week to go until the season starts now, and you know, look, there is. I want to see some style of play tonight. I want to see some different things from Michael Carrick tonight. I want to see some things from this team tonight. And don't forget, there is the European Super Cup as well. PSG versus Aston Villa. But you don't want to watch that. You 100% do not want to watch the Super Cup final. You want to stay here with me. So look, I'm going to try and find these teams. Let me try and find them wherever they are. Okay. Here we go. See if we've got lineups. Interesting. Okay, interesting. So, apparently Fletcher starts Dorgu on the left, Xerxes, Dallo, Mbumo, Lamans, Heaven, Yoro, Dallo, Amas starts. I'm gonna change the team around as well, which is a very I like this. Let me get the team. Yoro, Amas, Heaven, which is Heaven, which is awesome. What else we got? We've got Dallo. Dallo's playing Yoro, Heaven. We've got Santos and Fletcher. Santos, Fletcher. Got something stuck in my teeth now, right? Santos, Fletcher, Dorgu, Xerxes. Dorgu. Dorgu, Xerxes, Ahmad. Xerxes, Ahmad. Who am I missing? And Mbumo up top, and I will get into it as well. Sorry, I am just updating the teams. In Mbumo, Mbumo, Ahmad, Xerxes, Dallo, Dorgu, and Dorgu's in there as well. Dorgu, here we go. Let's see what we've got in there. Nice. Right, that's done. That's all in there. Look at the bench as well. See what's going on. See what's going on with that. So look, guys, yeah, look, watch along. We are back again in there with your views and opinions as well. Getting with your views and opinions on the channel. As well, anything you want to do, get in there and give your views and opinions as you always do, and that is what we do on this channel. It is basically what we do on this channel. Let's see what we've got in here already. So we've got the truth says, let's go, JB. Don't think Bruno's starting or Tielemans. No, I have put the team up as well. I love the sharp jersey. Yes, this is one of my favorite jerseys of all time. I'm from America. I call them jerseys, not kits. There's absolutely no problem at all. F the game, JB. Stream the Eclipse. Do you know what? I probably should have streamed the Eclipse actually. Do you know what? I think I was probably a good shout. You know, I probably should have stream the Eclipse actually. That's not a bad shot. But I mean, look, if I've got to listen to these glaze over Marcus Rashford, I don't know. Will Rashford play? Rashford's not starting. Is Kobe injured? Look, Kobe's only just come back from the way. Half-time sub Bruno Tielemans will get 90 minutes against Milan. Well, yeah, I guess so. Stream Eclipse is better than this game, says Scotty. I hope you guys are being safe from the wildfires. I mean, from my perspective, I mean everything is all good here. But look, I hope you guys are okay as well. So look, as we spoke about today, like this is a pre-season game. Does a lot rest on this? Well, not really. It's one of those games. Where look, there is not a lot. There is not a lot to lose. We even if we do lose, they've been fired up by me. Well, Scott, I hope you're keeping safe, my friend. Look, please do keep safe. Obviously, if there are wildfires, I know the UK is very dry. There is a drought warning as well. So yeah, I just hope everybody stays safe. That's scary. No, it is. I mean, the way, and I mean, I don't know where you are in the world, but most parts of this country are basically just like straw. It is like a tinderbox. It's ready. It's ready to go. It's ready to be set on fire. And you're right. Are these the sign of the times to come? We can get all political on here as well. Pollution. The carbon. We've been told about it for years and years and years. So look, there's plenty of stuff going off today. I mean, look, I've seen plenty of stuff today, so please get in there with your views, opinions, and your chats as well. Look, I've seen plenty of rumours going around today. Look, Kone. I'll start off with the Kone stuff. As I said to you yesterday, I got told a few bits and pieces as well on Kone. Look, people are obviously going to extend the truth, right? Look, we are where we are, the same position that we've been in for the last couple of weeks. Look, United are where they are. We can do the deal, but as I put a post that there are now 2 Saudi Arabian teams looking at this player. If we want to do the deal is there to do, but the problem is the price, as it always has been. I've seen today we're talking about Lewis Hall, and we're going to do all sorts of stuff. Look, unless we're willing to front up the money, people with basic finance understanding have tried to educate the fan base as to basically why we can't spend money. Look, we've done this on this channel to death anyway. But look, the cash isn't there. It's all going on the credit card, and as we all know, we've got over 200 or 400 to pay back over the next 3 to 4 years, but 200 of that is due within basically the next year. So this is why we've got no money. We've got a stadium to build as well. So look, is unless we qualify for the Champions League every single season, it's not looking great. Scott said we had fires on the moors. I live. I mean, Scott. Scott lives in some dodgy places. I mean, Scott. If you wanted a an advert for not to go where Scott lives, I can't even tell you. Did anyone see Amarin ad Milan? No, I haven't actually. Rob from the board say we only signing 1 more player, and it's going to be a cheap signing. Well, look, I've been saying this all summer. Nicky T, look, I've been saying this all summer. I don't actually think that we're going to sign. Look, people are saying, look, there are a couple of points to this, right? You've got the Athletic on Monday that briefed everybody saying that United feel like they don't really want to spend any money, that they feel is going to be good for the club not to spend money. The Michael Carrick, he needs time with the squad. And then yesterday, you got Lewis Hall's back on, you got Camavinga's back on, you got Kone's back on. Look, United are talking to Roma. They haven't not stopped. They haven't spoken to them really in weeks and weeks, but they're talking back to them again because they're trying to figure out what it is that they're trying to do. But look, this is going to end up. I've said this for quite some time. This is going to end up being a very, very cheap window. So look, let's see. Let's see. Score prediction. I don't know. I don't know. Leeds beat Liverpool. Leeds beat Liverpool. They beat RB Leipzig. We drew against PSG. I think it's anyone's game. I do. But again, I'm not really looking for a win as such. I just want to see a style of play. All the fans were kicking in the Robin Beth interview. Well, look, the problem is that journalists, look, they've been called out. Like the journalists have been called out this year. I think journalists this year have been caught out. I think for the first time in a very, very long time, I think a few of them have been exposed and they don't like it. I think their old tricks and their old ways, I think people are seeing through it. I actually think that United, what they've done this year, I think they've exposed people. Now, look, I don't give credit where credit is due, especially not to this club anyway. But look, I've been fed stuff, and the stuff that I've been fed has come true. But I haven't been fed a lot of stuff. There are bits and pieces that I know because I've been getting it from a person that works directly on certain bits and pieces. Whereas the amount of guessing that has come from, look, I've known that Semenyo was not going to sign. I know that Anderson wasn't going to sign. Tonali wasn't, because I was told that. But everybody has been regurgitating the same stuff because they've been made to look really, really stupid. So what I think you're seeing, with Rob Dawson, what you're seeing they are basically being protective because they've been called out. And this is what the problem is. So they're being very, very defensive. Fabrizio Romano has been caught out. What's his name? So Jacobs has been caught out. I mean, the only one that's got any credibility left because he doesn't really talk is David Ornstein. But even then, David Ornstein he doesn't go out to find the stories. He just regurgitates whatever clubs tell him to do. So, there's a bit of a difference. I think Fabrizio goes out and creates stories. I think he does things on the behalf of agents. And I think he is the sort of person. And I'll give him his due. He's got a lot of contacts and he goes out. But he's been exposed this year. Dawson, ESPN, they've all been exposed. They've all been exposed this year. And I think what's really interesting for somebody like me is that, when you, the previous years, when you get linked to people and then you think, why doesn't it happen? It's because we've never really been linked. So I think this summer, these guys have taken an absolute battering. And for once, United have been doing the battering, not on purpose. I don't think that they've been doing it on purpose, but as a consequence, they've basically gone and battered the journalists. And it's hilarious. It is so, so funny. It is absolutely hilarious. And if you notice as well, a lot of channels, the fan channels, last year were telling you with authority, but all sorts of signings. At the beginning of this window, they were talking about we could spend 400 million. That's all stopped. That has all stopped now. And not because I think they've changed their minds. It's because they know they can't get away with bullshit anymore. So look, I long for it. I can't stand clickbait. I can't stand the lies. And look, we're a week away from the Premier League starting. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. So look, get in there with your chats, your views, opinions. I want to know all of that good stuff. And we will get into it as well. So let's see what you're saying in the chat. Please get in there with your chats and please like the video. So have a little look what we're saying in the chat. Done that one. Where's his June? Done that one. Fabrication Romano quits his job at the end of the window. Yes, Scott. I've heard that. I saw Fabrizio came out with and said, oh, he's not going to be doing this transfer stuff forever. No, you're not, because you've been caught out, buddy. You've been caught out. You've been caught out. I think the landscape now needs to change. I mean, there are some things on X I'd love to call, and I'm going to say this. Indicator news, right? I don't care. I'll call them out. I don't care. Genuinely, I need to be careful what I say in case they come out to sue me, right? But I've never seen a bunch of disingenuous. They extend the truth. They spin. I don't think I've seen anybody worse. I know there are so many aggregator accounts out there. There are so many people out there, but I'm telling you now, Indicator News is one of the worst ones. They are absolutely dreadful. They are just. I've just got no words. And this is what we've seen. These people are losing credibility. So let's get into some more of your chats. The journalists have been called out for pushing the narratives and not fact. This is what happens when the media is used against the public instead of for the public. No. It is true. It is true. Dino is in the house as well. Dino is in the house as well. So look, guys, I want to know about anything that you've seen today. You know, I've seen everything again from Alex Scott. I've seen. I'll tell you what I've seen. I've seen Lewis Skelly deal back on again. Apparently that one's back on again. And look, the one thing I wanted to say really is, you know, look, people need to use their heads, right? So we're talking about. Let me give you an example. You now got Adam Wharton, right? Does anybody believe that United are going to sign Adam Wharton for £90 million? That is what Crystal Palace are going to want for their player. Whether you think that's worth it or not, I don't care about the price. It's whether or not, if something costs 40 million or something costs £3, if someone's not willing to pay £3, it doesn't matter, right? So Wharton could be 90 million. You could be Man City and be able to afford it, right? Could United afford to do it? Possibly, but they don't want to do it, so they're not going to do it either. So our signing Santos, Tielemans, Thompson, and Darlow. Wharton for 90 is, and I agree with you, Scott. Look again. And I know people like to talk about fees, etc. Like, I'm not bothered by it, right? But if I was to prescribe, let's just imagine for a second that I care, right? Everything, whether I like it or not, everything's got a price, right? So if I was to say, when we're looking at the prices of these players, do I think Adam Wharton is a £90 million player? No, 100% no. No, Marcus Rashford. It is the Marcus Rashford show. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Where ITV are talking about Marcus again. Look, the glazing of Marcus Rashford. I agree with you, Mickey. honestly, it is a trap. When you become an adult, being an adult is a trap. It's an absolute trap. So look, this is United versus Leeds. Um, I'm interested. I'm interested to see if so. Rashford is not playing. Rashford's not playing at all. Rashford is not playing. Um, Rashford is not playing. And then we can talk about Mason Mount. You're telling me I hate paying out they have a yeah, well, I know, I know, I know. Yeah, bills. It is, mate. It is just bills. It is. In the words of Destiny's Child, I can't pay my telephone bill. I've got bills. Um so look, let's talk about Mason Mount. I think we need to talk about. So what I saw today was some more United spin. So apparently Mason Mount's injury is not as bad as first thought. Um, Remember when they did this, when they brought Mason Mount back, and they basically said that Mason Mount is back, and they put Mason Mount onto the bench. Mason Mount didn't play for about 5 more games. Mason Mount didn't come on as sub. Mason Mount didn't play. Be careful of the Mason Mount stuff. Be very, very, very careful, because if any of these players get injured and they're fit, just don't believe a word you're told. Don't believe a word you're told. So look, I'm looking forward to this. Amas, I'm really looking forward to seeing Amas play. I really want to see what he can do. Scott says he's paying off my holiday. Look, buddy, hope you have a nice holiday in October. But look, I'm excited for Harry Amas. I can't wait to see Amas playing. I really, really like him. We're talking about buying. So, like, make this make sense to me, right? We're talking about buying a left back, right? I'm not saying that Harry Amas is Lewis Hall. I'm not suggesting that, right? But if we're not going to buy Amas, and Salinas seems to be the one that people are looking at, look, Harry Amas would sell Harry Amas for 6 million and then go and buy a player for 20. Look, I'd be more comfortable with Salinas for 20 million rather than Lewis Hall for 70 million, because I don't think we're there yet. I don't. Look, we can talk about spending X amount of money. We don't need to be spending 70 million pounds on a left back. We're not Man City. I think this fan base sometimes need to understand where we are. We're not in the zone of spending 70 million pounds on a left back. We need to be spending 70 million quid on a centre midfielder. We need to be buying us a centre back first. We can get by with not Luke Shaw, but I think we can get by with a Salinas, or we can get by with a decent left back. So the fact that Amas is playing, I like Harry Amas. I would, look, we're taking punts all over the pitch, right? We're taking chances. We're doing all sorts on this pitch. I would give Harry Amas a go. Look, is he going to be worse than a Luke Shaw? Salinas comes in potentially. Unless we are going to go and get Lewis Hall, which I think he's a fantastic player. Amas, I want to see what Amas can do today. So I'm looking forward to that. I think the Euro Heaven combination as well, by the way, I like that. You got a Euro who now, I think it's a big season for him as well. He needs to kick on. And I think if he kicks on, I think he could be a fantastic player. Heaven, we all know Aiden Heaven, this is his 3rd season. Yeah, last season was his full season, and I think this is his 3rd season. Look, Fletcher, I know what Fletcher's about. Look, again, I like the youth. I do like the youth. I'm just Fletcher's Fletcher, right? I don't think he's going to. I think Fletcher's going to be like his dad. I think he's going to be a very good functional player. Will he reach the heights of his dad? I don't know. I almost feel like there is a little bit of favoritism here as well. But Fletcher, I do hope he does well as well. So look, I think there's a lot to get excited about. Xerxes, I think Xerxes. This is either Xerxes staying or they're going to put Xerxes into the shop window to sell him. I think what is going on here is I think they're trying to keep as many of these players as they possibly can. Switch says, JB, I hope you're well, mate. I'm not getting your notifications. You've got to turn them on, buddy. You've got to turn them on, and do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the icon. So there's a bell. Turn that on. Yes, we've just done that one. We've been linked to Standard Bells. Look, in other news, for those of you who have watched the channel, you've known over the last couple of weeks I've had tests. Well, I've had the results today. I'm with a smile on my face. So I am cancer free. I don't have cancer, which is, I can't even tell you the relief. I can't even tell you what that means to me. So for those of you who've supported me, for those of you who've been on the channel, for those of you, who have shared that support with me, I'll never forget that. But yeah, look, this afternoon today, I went to go and have some more tests. I went to get the results, and the good news is that I'm cancer free. So I've not got it. Obviously, there was a big, massive concern, and I'm still going to tell you guys, you've got to check out prostate, check out your family jewels, because it could be anything at all. I'm fortunate in a way that it's nothing too bad. But look, I'm just so happy today. So look, and it's a big thank you from me to you guys for all the support as well. So look, it means so much to me that you guys are willing and here to support me as well. So look, that's a massive thank you to you guys as well. I've checked they're on. Don't know why they've not had them on. I don't know, mate. Thank goodness this was amazing. Honestly, buddy, I can't even tell you. It's been a hell of a 2 and a bit weeks, my friend. You can be positive as much as you possibly can be, of course, but when you're when it's at your door, and I know people, they've been through it. It's absolutely horrendous stuff. So it's I can only imagine what it's like, for people with cancer. And this is why, as men and people, you've got to thanks, Dino. This is why you've got to check yourself. You've got to check yourself. Just whatever you're doing, you got to check yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. That is what you've got to do. So I've warned the missus that if she sees me playing with my nuts, I'm sorry, it is a medical thing that I've got to do now. So so look, the game is about to start. I bet you never thought that you'd be thinking about me playing with my family jewels on this stream tonight. We're back, baby. We're back. We are back. The channel is back to depravity. And football's coming home. That's not. So look, football is about to kick off. The game is about to kick off. Ooh, it's a great opportunity. My girlfriend's mum has had cancer 3 times in the past 3 years, keeps fine and comes back in a different place. Look, buddy, look, my condolences, my condolences in terms of, look, I know it's horrible, Scott. And look, pass on, Scott, my respects, my friend, because I've only had a taste of it. And it's awful. It's awful. So look, I absolutely sympathise, and look, mate, I've fingers crossed. Healthcare and pleasure at the same time. Exactly, Dino. Look, you've got to make it. I do, Dino. I do draw the line though. I putting things, up places. Some people might enjoy that. I think Scott enjoys that. But there's a limit. So I won't be check. Let's put it this way: I won't be checking my own. Yeah. Yeah. So look, United versus Leeds. Santos. I'm interested to see Santos. Let's have a look. So we are going to kick off. I'm not sure if I'm behind. By the way, I might be behind because I'm watching it online. Oh, they're doing this stupid thing now, aren't they? Doing this stupid American shit now, aren't they, as well? Oh, here we go. The old jokes. She's a fighter and she's had most of her bowel removed. And the other thing is, fight is off. She keeps got. Ah, mate, look. Honestly, massive respect, mate. Again, I don't know, her, but she sounds to me, mate, like she's. I told my doctor next time I expect dinner. That's all. Do you know what? Do you know what? Right. Um, when I got checked, I'd literally just met the doctor in terms of I'd changed my GP surgery because my other one was crap. I literally went there the next day. I met the doctor for the first time. He did his check, and I said to him, the least that you could do is buy me a drink. And he obviously thought that was hilariously funny because it is funny. So look, I want to see us battling in this midfield. So again, it's obviously going to be a little bit of chaos. That's nice by Hamas. That's nice by Hamas. JB got to reach around. Well, Scott, you've got to take it, mate. Wherever you can get it, Scott. Wherever you can get it, buddy. A reach around is, you know. Who doesn't have a reach around? This is Leeds on the attack on the right hand side. Go on, Harry. Go on, Harry. First thing I look at now is how big is it's so true. Mickey is so true. It is so true. I mean, I've got to say, he did have some big old fingers on him. Yeah, massive fingers. Oh Jesus Christ! I mean, yeah, it was awful. So this is Leeds throwing it into the box. Get it out. Nice. That's nice by Youri. That's nice by Santos. This is now back with Leeds. Nearly 3 minutes gone. Everybody back behind the ball. Back now with Leeds. It's nice. United. That's it. I tell you, Mbumo looks really light. He just looks smaller. He just looks like he's leaner. He looks like he's leaner. Come on, Dorgu. Back with Leeds. Is that Santos? Oh, Santos. That's lovely by Santos. That's nice by Santos. Great tackle. Who's at Hamas? Great tackle. Great tackle there by Hamas. I tell you what, Santos and Hamas there. That's very good. Santos, you can tell he's going to. Santos is going to be a right pain in the butt. He says, as long as it's not a pain in my arse, I don't care. So Santos is going to be. I think he's going to be a massive pain this season for players. This is back now with the Leeds goalkeeper. This is back with Trafford. There we go. Leeds take this out. Mbumo pulled a cast from last year. He came ready. He has pulled a Casemiro from last year. He looks ready. He does look ready. That's nice. Fletcher. Aiden Heaven. That's nice. That's better with Dallo. Mbumo. That's lovely by Mbumo. It's Ahmad. San Euro. Fletcher. Mbumo. Nice. Nice. That's not bad. Look, I like that. I like every time the ball seems to go into the middle. United looks like they're there. Yeah. Agree, Dino. He really looks like he's got something to prove. This is a rare event tonight or tomorrow, JB. All the planets align and a shower to go as well. If you're in, yeah, I do love a little bit of astrology. Is it astrology? No, it's not astrology, is it? It's the corner's gone in. Oof. No, I am a big massive fan of space. I'm not gonna lie. That's lovely by Aiden Heaven. That's nice. Go on, Xerxes. Aiden Heaven. Dallo. Oof. Dallo goes for a shot. I mean, why is Dallo shooting from there again? He needs to stop it. I mean, this is the sort of stuff already. Why Dallo gets right on my nerves is because he doesn't need to shoot from there. What's he shooting for? Like, I just, that for me is the stuff that needs to stop. I can't abide it. I can't abide it. Someone needs to clip him round the ear and say, stop shooting from there. You're not Fernandez. You're just, remember who you are. It's the meteor shower. I'll be giving that a go. I'll be giving that like a little look-see. Trafford, let's kick this out now. It's gone straight down the correct Dino. Dino and Scott having a bit of a geek fest in there. I love it, boys. I love it. This is Battle Leeds on the right hand side now. My wife told me this morning. So look, 8 minutes gone. United are clearly pressing high. Like they're looking to force Leeds back quickly. That's really good covering by Heaven there. One of my sleeves is space themed. I'm not going to lie, Scotty. I do love a bit of space. Always been fascinated by Uranus. Always been interested by that. I do like a bit of stargazing as well. I do. Get up, come on. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know about Dorgu. Was that a bad tackle? Yeah, it wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad. I've got look. I've got to say, I watched last pre-season. I watched this pre-season. I actually think at the moment, and look, don't go on the back of this. This pre-season at the moment, United are looking sharp. Now, are United looking sharp because we haven't actually signed too many people to try to get them into the side? Look, Shesko, the big concerning thing for me here is a Shesko. You know, where is he? You know, one of the things, get this out, is this, get it out. The thing that's annoyed me the most, particularly with the preseason so far, is, look, don't get me wrong, it's positive. Look, I'm liking how we're playing. I'm liking, I think, what Carrick is trying to instill and what Carrick is trying to do. So props to him. The problem that I got is Michael Carrick and United have done something very, very clever this year. Very, very, very clever. They've brought along every player. Doesn't matter how injured they are. Doesn't matter how tired they are. So everybody thinks that everybody is fit. And Shesko isn't fit. De Ligt isn't fit. Scott says, I can find them, JB. I have pictures from 2001 when I went to the Kennedy Space Center and watched them launch a rocket. Now, that is cool, Scotty. That is cool. Watching a launch from Cape Canaveral, I think that's what it is. That is amazing. This is Ahmad. Go on, Ahmad. Nice. Tielemans are slotted in nicely. Look, Tielemans for me, what I'm going to say on him is this. If he didn't, it's going to be very, very difficult for me to judge Tielemans on the basis that he's 29 years old. He's a very experienced Premier League player, and he should be comfortable wherever he goes. But that's not a disservice to him. So I think as long as he stays fit. But I agree with you. Look, Tielemans for me, I think he's fitted in quite well. But again, I'd be surprised if he didn't, only on the basis. Look, it would be for me the exact same thing for me. If we'd assigned Tonali, if we'd assigned Bruno G, I'd be expecting these players to fit in nicely. I do think it was a good signing. I do. I think it was a smart signing as well. This has gone back out to Ahmad. That's nice by Ahmad. Go on, Ahmad. That's nice. It's Fletcher. I tell you what, I absolutely wouldn't sell Amas. I like Amas. He's so good on the ball. That's lovely. Oof. Tell you what, that Dalot cross was crap. That was Dalot couldn't cross a road. I mean, still the same problems for me. Now, the reason why Xerxes gets the shot off is because he's got a good touch on him. That was an absolutely abysmal pass. That guy couldn't cross a road. Scott says yes, it was an experience that I'll never forget. Remember, they sent a probe to land on an asteroid to collect samples, says Scott. The only thing that concerns me with Tielemans is his strength in the tackle. Yeah, the thing with Tielemans that concerns me, I agree with you. I think it is the strength in the tackle, but for me, it's also as well injuries. I find, and correct me, people can tell me that I'm wrong, right? Is when a player of a certain age starts to pick up injuries, they don't really get better. So I'm just hoping it was a fluke. I don't want Tielemans, injured. So look, Tielemans, let's hope we can get 3 or 4 years out of him. And I think that will be a fantastic deal. So again, look, positive. Look, what I'm seeing here is really, really positive. I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far in Bumo. That's the thing. With Dorgu, look, this is not a criticism of Dorgu at the moment. This is more so Dorgu just needs that experience. Jamie Vargas is in the house. Absolute legend. Hello, JB, my friend. How are you doing? Sorry I haven't been around. My wife just had a baby. Jamie Vargas. Congratulations. I know your wife had a baby, but hopefully you've had a baby too. But look, mate, massive congratulations. Look, I hope you named the baby after me. I'm kidding, of course. But mate, absolute fantastic news. And Jamie, I think this is right. I think that's the first birth on the community. I think that is the very first baby that we've had born as a community. So look, big massive up to Jamie. He's had the very first. I know it's not our baby, but you know we've had our very first United Devil Channel baby. Fantastic. Go on, get in there. Get in there. Yes, get in there. Great goal. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant. Such a good move. Such a good move. Brilliant move. Fantastic move. Xerxes, brilliant pass there. The brilliant counter. And this is all we want to see. We don't mind counter. Do you think we'll get another midfielder or a left back? What do I reckon? I reckon, Jamie. I reckon we'll get. I don't know. I reckon we'll get a midfielder. I think we'll get a cheaper left back, and I think we'll get a midfield player as well. Would you cheer if Rashford played and scored? I don't know. Let's see. I mean, look, you can't not celebrate a goal, right? And the thing is as well, right, is Xerxes. I like Xerxes. Look, you know, again, on this channel, guys, we've been, look, I will still maintain that Xerxes for me has to go, right? But when people were calling him a flop after 4 months, etc., I love a redemption story. Like I want Xerxes to do well, and look, Xerxes, I think has to go. But look, there is something there. Sky says, "Give Xerxes a knighthood now." Congratulations, the family gets bigger, and we scored to mark the occasion. Exactly. We scored to mark the occasion. This is brilliant. Oh, don't give the ball to Dallo. Oh my God, Dallo. Bloody hell, Dallo. Honestly, Dallo. Honestly. Sky says, I've been watching the eclipse. I don't blame you. Sky, did you have a total eclipse of the heart? Just saying. This is very good. Very comfortable. Very comfortable. Like a sun stuck on my teeth. Euro. They just look comfortable. This is nice. It's nice. Back to Lenny Euro. Oh, Dallo still, honestly, he should have stayed at the World Cup. That's lovely. That's nice. And also, I'm liking the fact that Luke Shaw's not playing. I think Amas already is offering quite a bit down there as well. That's lovely. So good by you. Go on, Xerxes. Go on, Xerxes. Oh, go on, Xerxes. And Bumo. That's back to Lenny Yoro. Lenny Yoro looks good as well, by the way. Fletcher. Xerxes. No, Dorgu, Xerxes. Dorgu. It's nice. Xerxes. So Dorgu. Dallo. This is nice. Keeping this ball really, really well, by the way. That's lovely. Tell you what, if this can be a goal. Oof. Good stuff. Good stuff. This is good, good, good stuff. Very, very good stuff, by the way. Very, very good stuff. Looks so far so good. I'm like what I'm seeing now. I'm liking their transition. I tell you what, Mbumo, he looks like a different player. Like he looks like a different player. I don't know what he's been doing. He is honestly, he's looking. He just looks smaller. He just looks smaller and sharp. I reckon he's been on the Manjaro, 100%. And Bumo has definitely been on the Manjaro. This is now back with Leeds. That's nice by Heaven. I tell you what, this pressing is lovely by Amas. Lovely by Amas. Up the Red Devils. I'm buying the new blue top tomorrow, £85. I hope they have my size, says Mark. Oof. I mean, 85 quid for a shirt. Jesus Christ. I mean, you can pay up to like 100 odd quid now, can't you? It's like ridiculous money now. Crazy money. Crazy money. Look, 21 minutes gone. I mean, look, we don't need Lewis Hall. We've got Harry Amas. This guy says, JB, this morning I watched one of my favourite games of all time, the 08-09 Champions League semi-final versus Arsenal at the Emirates. How far we've dropped since then is it's horrible. Scott, I agree with you. That 08-09 game where we it's just that break. It's just that break with Cristiano, Rooney, Ronaldo's free kick. I mean that for me was one of our best games of all time. I love that game. I love the Arsenal 8-0 or the 8-2 or whatever it was. Yeah. This is now back with Euro. Look, if you have just joined, look, this is pre-season. It was a crazy. This is Mbumo. Go on, Mbumo. Go on, son. Oh, should be two. Should be two. Should be two. What's the greatest goal I've ever seen from a United player? Okay, this is going to be a very, very biased, Dino, a biased opinion, right? It is Mark Hughes's Mark Hughes's banana kick against Man City in 1989, 1990. Does that mad? Yeah, my favourite goal is the Mark Hughes banana kick against Man City. And I think we lost that game like 5-2. Yeah. Don't like the red kit. I don't like the stripes. Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of that either, really. Are we talking live scene or on Dino TV? I tell you what, Amas is quick as well. I got the new one, being too excited. I didn't check the size correctly. I got 2XL slim fit. And here's the thing, I look like I was baked into it, says old Mickey. Do you remember the Italian shirt? Do you remember the Kappa blue Italian shirt that was like that one piece and it was like a skin type thing? Wales had it as well. I Tell you what, Harry Amas is brilliant today. Santos, nice and tidy from Santos. Fletcher. They're just looking to pass the ball forward. You know, look, you know, hmm. What is abundantly clear to me, and this is what I like. Look, Luke Shaw's not playing. Maguire is not playing. You know, you've got some of these. Bruno Fernandes is not playing. I like this team. I really, really like this young team. It's really nice. That's brilliant by Xerxes. Sloppy by Fletcher. Sloppy by Fletcher there. But look, I like this side. Look, this is what some of you guys have said. I like this side. You know, I like Santos is playing really well. Harry Amas, I'm liking what he's doing. Yoro looks comfortable. Heaven looks comfortable. And Dino, fluid Dino. Do you know what, mate? Dino might be right. You know, is this a case that United are going to be, you know, the problem here for me is in one game we're okay. Can we do this throughout a whole season? This is where I think the squad depth. But look, I'm liking what I'm seeing right now. I really am. I really like it. This is going to change my team sheet. I think my team sheet's wrong. Got playing Tielemans is not playing. I thought I changed that. Obviously not. He's very good in Bumo. I loved Cantona. He's a proper number 7. Now we have Mason Mount. And look, we can have that conversation. I think we need to have the ignore the team on the left, by the way, just because it's crap. I will try to fix it. One all. 1-1. Let's see what's going on there. That's Fletcher again, by the way. That's Fletcher. That's Fletcher giving the ball away. Look, that's Fletcher. Fletcher's giving the ball away again, by the way. Look, I don't want to beat up young players. If that's Tielemans, I don't think he gives that ball away. Look, I think Aiden Heaven is slightly out of position. I also think there that Fletcher is to blame. Fletcher's not having the best of games. That I don't want to assign blame to people. But look, Fletcher's not having his best game. Let's just put it that way. I think that's one thing that Michael Carrick is going to have to sort out. He is going to have to get the midfield right. I think defensively, I think we're still going to have the same problems. I spoke too soon. So what we're saying. Any update on Mason Mount? Well, look, Mason Mount is apparently it's not as bad as first thought. Mason Mount. I mean, look, I don't the nepotism twins says Skinny Bob. Well, I don't disagree with you. They are, aren't they? Look, Fletcher. I think in a game that's been Brighton, this is what pre-season is for. Harry Amas has come in. I think he looks good. I think Aiden Heaven. I think he's a great player. I think sometimes he is out of position, but again, I think if he has somebody talking to him there, I think he's fine. You've been critical on selective issues. How am I being critical on selective issues? I'm literally just talking as I'm watching the game. I'm literally watching the game, okay, and I'm critiquing the game as I'm watching the game. What else am I supposed to do? I'm critiquing the game at the moment, and I'm not blaming the children. This is what I'm saying. I am not blaming the kid, and I'm not saying that Mickey is saying that, but I'm going through this game and I'm talking about it, right? Fletcher made a mistake there, right? But there are still big issues in this team. I still think the back four there's going to pose an issue because look, let's be fair, Luke Shaw is going to play. Amas is looking good in this game, but again, Luke Shaw is going to come in. Adalo, he's still there. We know he can't cross. I think can Euro and Aiden Heaven, can those two form a partnership? I don't think they can. I don't think there's enough experience there. So these are the problems as I see them right now. I'm. It's not selective issues. They've just scored a goal. They've literally just scored a goal, and I'm reacting to what's happened. I mean, Shem, use your brain cell. I like Harry Amas, but again, this is pre-season. This is what pre-season is for. Fletcher is allowed to make errors. It just so happens on this occasion, he just happened to make an error that's led to a goal. So let's see how United handle this now, because they're going to go through a period of pressure, and it's not bad. It says it all. The Dosser is a Spurs fan. Well, look. No, Spurs fans. I mean, how's this for a brain cell, right? I'm commenting on a game that is literally live, and I'm being critical on selective issues. Well, duh, because when somebody scores against you, you're not going to criticize the fucking attack, are you? Fucking hell. Seriously, and they wonder why Spurs finished fucking 17th last season when you got fans like that. Fuck it now. Right, Dorgu. Unlucky. Unlucky, Dorgu. Dorgu. It's unlucky. That's the one thing I think. I think Dorgu. I think our wingers need to do more of this. See, well. Of course, they make Spurs fans because Spurs fans this year have gone and spent a fortune. So we know Spurs fans are going to be out in voice. That's lovely by Dorgu. Lovely. That is good work by Dorgu. Good work by Dorgu. I like Dorgu again. He's so he's powerful. He's tenacious. Well done. That's very good. So we are like 35 minutes in, 10 minutes away from half time. 1-1. I think I think United have been the better team. I do. It's been pre-season, but we would talk about the game at half time as well, if it's not too selective enough. This is Xerxes. That's nice by Xerxes. Xerxes got such good feet, though. He really has. He really has got such good feet. It's nice by Hamas. Oh, I like Hamas. I really like Hamas. He's now back with Santos. Euro's back. Dallo, Ahmad, and Bumo. Okay. Trying to be a bit too clever. Oh my bloody hell. Honestly. What am I, 35 minutes? What are we on? 36. There you go. There you go. There you go. I mean, these are teething problems. Go on, Mbumo. Oh! Oof. Mbumo. I love Ahmad, but can someone tell me why he always looks like he borrowed his dad's kit? I think it's because he's so small. Mbumo looks at it. Mbumo looks absolutely at it. Nice badass. Mbumo's unlucky. Oh, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. This is Fletcher. Fletcher with the corner. Right, this is Fletcher. Good corner. Unlucky. This is Dorgu. Go on, Dorgu. Oh, go on, Dorgu. That's brilliant by Dorgu. Dorgu's so strong. Well done by Amas. We can't sell Amas for 6 million. By the way, if we sell Amas for 6 million, it's it's unbelievable. He's so good. He's so good. I'll be so annoyed. You can't sell Amas for 6 million. It will be criminal. And Bumo, that's unlucky. Unlucky. That was a bit of a hard ball there by Aiden Heaven. Very good. They are pressing teams into mistakes. Look, I've asked for a kind of style of play. I wanted to see something, and we're getting what I wanted to see. We are getting pressing. We're getting, they're looking to to press high up. Oof. Tell you what, there needs to be some more communication at the back there. This is back with Leeds. Nice, good tackle by Dolby. Leeds having a little bit of the ball here for the first time. I mean, Leeds can't get out. I do like how everybody is pressing together. It's nice. The biggest takeaway from me at the moment is they don't look lethargic. They don't look tired. They actually all look fit. And I don't mean it in that way, but they all look physically fit. Dallo, Jesus, Dallo. Oh, that's good by Santos. This is Amas. Harry Amas is doing the things that Luke Shaw can't do. So with Dallo, back with Ahmad, Santos. It's nice for Santos. Mbumo. Back to Dallo. Mbumo, Dallo, Ahmad. That's nice. Oh, unlucky. Unlucky. Come on. This is Dan James. He's crap. Ah. You can give Dan James the ball all day, every day, and he's not going to do anything with it. He just doesn't have the final product. He just doesn't have it at all. He just doesn't have it. No. It's back with Xerxes, Heaven. It's been caught out there. Needs to be careful. Amas again. Heaven, Santos. I mean, Santos is really tidy, by the way. I think Santos is a very, very tidy player. I can see why. I can see why you'd want to sign him. That's not the best kick by Tielemans there. It's not the best kick by Tielemans. And so the Leeds are going to start to have a little bit more of the ball. This is nice by Leeds. Come on, Tielemans. Oof, good. So look, the first half, I think United, I think, have been the better team. I think what I've wanted to see from this team is they've looked sharp, they've pressed together, they've played high up together. They are looking to win this ball back. Now, look, I hope Luke Shaw, by the way, is watching this game, because I'm telling you now, Harry Amas has been absolutely fantastic. He's been absolutely brilliant. I can't even express it enough how good he's been. He's brilliant. He's so good, and we can talk about that at halftime as well. But look, I think it's been a very good performance. Look, that's halftime, so 45 minutes, and that's impressive stuff. I think that's a very good. That's a very good half. I do. I think it's a very good half. I think it's probably some of the best football, even in pre-season terms, that I've seen in quite some time. So look, I think if we're looking about pre-season and we're talking about, some of the players, that we've bought, the two players, look, Tielemans hasn't played well, hasn't started a game yet. Look, I like what Santos is doing. I like the fact that I like Mbeumo. I mean, I don't know what's been said to him. I don't know what he's done. But when you pay, and let's talk about prices, right? When you pay £70 million for a player last year, you can tell how good a player is by the second season, right? The fact that Mbeumo has come back season number 2, didn't have the best of the best, the end of season. I don't think he did. He looked slow. He looked really tired. Some United players over the past would have just gone, like, who cares? Mbeumo right now is the pre-season, not Perlo. He's the pre-season setter. Right now, even if Shesko was fit, I think Mbeumo should play up front. What I'm seeing in Mbeumo is a player that's come to pre-season with a mission. It's a player that's come to play. It's a player that means business this season, and that is what I want to see. This is what we're seeing. I think he's been absolutely brilliant. I think he's had a very good pre-season so far, and I really like what he's doing. I really do. So look, I think Mbeumo has had a really good half. Why is this not saving? There we go. Look, I think he's having a fantastic half. I'm just going to change the team as well to reflect of that as well. So look, get in your comments. Look, I want to know. I want to know what your thoughts are on this game. Santos again, I think he's looked very tidy. But if Santos can play like this the whole of the season, and he can play like this, I think Santos could be one of those signings that all he needed was a move away from a Chelsea, to be the player, to get time. I think he's been good, and what I like about Santos probably more than anything else is the fact that he's just good at what he does. I've seen people try to glaze over him, like, he's the second coming of Casemiro. Look, he doesn't need to be. And I think he's a good player. And I think the last couple of games, and look, we are going into next week, the Premier League starts. And if we're seeing this now, and I know this is pre-season, etc., but last pre-season we were dog shit. I watched every pre-season game. I've watched every pre-season game this year, and it is night and day. So look, whatever Carrick is doing at the moment is working. I like what I'm seeing. I like the fact that we're pressing from the front, we're pressing together. We are closing the channels, we are closing the lines. So it's more difficult for teams to pass through the lines. Santos being there and more of a mobile player to protect the back four, I think is going to make teams think twice because he's quick, he's young. We've now got pace, Dorgu. I think Dorgu's really, really good, by the way. Ahmad, even if Ahmad looks like he's wearing his dad's clothes. And Bumo looks sharp. I'm going to give a special mention. Fletcher looks fine. I think look, Fletcher made a mistake, but he's a young player. Everybody makes mistakes, by the way. It's really, really easy. Dallo is Dallo. Look, he's never going to change. So I think we need a right back anyway. So for me, I don't think that's ever going to change. Amas. Look, the reason why I'm picking on Amas at the moment is this. Everybody is, and correctly so, I get it, right? People are saying that we want Lewis Hall 70 million, and this club is saying, look, well, we don't want to pay that money. I get that, but look, there are reports that we want to sell Harry Amas for 6 million. Look, what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing a regen of Luke Shaw. He reminds me of Luke Shaw, by the way. I think he's stocky. I think he's quick. He reminds me of Luke Shaw when Luke Shaw broke into the team. Harry Amas, for me, he can't be sold. I know it's too early, but look, what I'm seeing here today from an Amas is he doesn't look like he's Fletcher. Fletcher looks like he doesn't fit necessarily, right? Harry, I think Harry does. Says poor JB stealing his chat with the future. It doesn't. Look, you guys can steal the chat. This chat is yours. You can steal the chat. The chat belongs to you guys. I will read out the appropriate chats, of course I will. But the chat belongs to the community. As long as you don't put anything weird in there, then we're fine. Trafford is giving me Zabozlai vibes with that silly hair. He does look at the moment a little bit like a vagrant. But look, I'm Amas. I'm all about the Amas. I do love Amas. I think it's brilliant. If we sell Harry Amas for £6 million, then we're stupid. I would question it. I'd question who's in charge of the club, because Harry Amas, for me, I think he's fantastic. Look, get in there. I want to know about who you've seen. In Bumo, for me, I think he's been very, very impressive so far. And Amas, for me, in this game is a standout for me, because when we're talking about signing new players, and Amas is putting in performances like that. Today Wednesday. Cool. The chat is having a whale of a time. The chat is having probably the best time of his life, which is awesome. I'm just checking to see If there's any new news, any clickbait out there. And we'll come back on. We'll come back onto the game. Oh, you guys. Oh, you guys. So look, we've got another game as well against AC Milan, I think, on Saturday. And then I think that pretty much the season the season starting. We're giving Mick content, JB. I mean, I don't even want to know. Do I even want to know? Do I even want to know about what you guys are doing? I don't want to get banned. I, I don't want to get banned. Thank God the second half is about to be kick off. Did anybody see, by the way? And this is going off topic from what is in the chat, by the way. Anybody see that Jed Spence going to Inter Milan for 30 million euros? 30 million for he wants you to do a collaboration. On what? If there's anything to do with trees, I'm not gonna straddle any tree. I will collaborate, but I'm not going to collaborate on trees. I'm not going to straddle anything unless you pay me. You know, I don't do the straddling. I'm the straddly. If that makes sense. I am not. I'm not the straddler. I am the straddly. Yeah, it's fine. I'm sorry I missed so much of that. It's fine. Look, you guys chat away. You guys chat away. You absolutely. This is your community. This is your chat. JB, you need to be his woodpecker. Oh my goodness. I've got an impression. I don't know if I can do it. Who was it Woody the Woody the I can't even say it. Woody the woodpecker. Yeah. Yeah. Back in the day. Woody the woodpecker. Jesus Christ. Imagine saying that. Pissed. So at the moment, going back to the game, for those of you, who are not interested in straddling trunks of trees, United 1, Leeds 1. Again, I'll always prefix this with this is a pre-season game. Yeah, not. Yeah, I don't be doing the woodpecking. I'm the woodpecky. Don't know. Here we go. We're going to be back soon. We're nearly back. Sky says, in other news, I can't wait for the York Festival. Cannot wait to skint myself on more horses. How much wood could a woodchuck? God, how much wood could a woodcutter cut if a woodcutter could cut wood? I reckon he'd be cutting a load of wood. I reckon he'd be cutting so much wood. All of it if he's JB. Well, Right. Who's coming on? He loves a good log. Oh my good lord! With the amount of things that have been inside my body in the last 2 weeks, you might as well put a bloody log up there. Okay, so Tyne and Thompson's coming on. Collier's coming on. So Thompson's coming on. Collier's coming on. Thompson for Dorgu. Armour for Heaven. Armour. Dorgu. Thompson. And Collier. And Collier's on. So we've got, look, so we've got Thompson on. We have got Armour on. And Collier's on as well. Collier's on as well. The missus says she's not going to share any of me. Well, you're clearly a man in demand. I mean, if that was my wife, she wouldn't care. Jamie wants a peek of Scotty. Look, more people in the last 2 weeks. I've seen my pecker fondled certain things they shouldn't be fondling, and I've had more intrusions than I wish to even mention. So you know, the last thing I want to do right now is see any sorts of peckers. Oh my god, they're doing that American thing. Oh, they're doing that stupid American nonsense thing. Oh, they're doing that American thing. Seriously, need to pack it up. Oh, I know. I can't stand the commentator either. I mean, you know, when the commentators say, "Oh, well, apparently he's been lighting it up in training." Who cares? Oh, there he is. Calvert-Lewin, Dominic Calvert-Lewin is on. JB slowly moves in. Yeah. JB slowly. Oh my good lord. To be fair, mate. To be fair, I don't think I've got a gag reflex, buddy. To be fair. So I'm being honest, I can't stand that Sam Schmackerface gets on my nerves. Yeah, I can't say I'm his biggest fan. Rich is in the house. The man, the myth, the legend. That is Rich from United TV. And if you don't know who Rich is or United TV, then go and check them out because they are awesome. Rich, I don't know what you've got into here, mate. The chat is absolutely going off. Oh, I haven't started the bloody thing, have I? All right, hold up. I will start my counter in a second. All right, I'll start my timer in a second. So look, the first half is everything that I've wanted to see. JB, that's what it stands for. Jesus Christ, Scott. So here we go. Right, here we go. Okay. I think we're looking all good. Yeah, we are. So look, the team has changed at halftime. Thompson has come on for Dorgu, Collier's on for Fletcher, and Armour's on for Heaven as well. So look, there is a certain youthness to this team. I think certainly. I definitely think Carrick is going to use AC Milan as probably the bigger game. It's going to be an interesting one, the AC Milan game, which I will be doing on here as well. So look, I hope we can maintain the intensity. I thought the intensity of the first half has been absolutely fantastic. I think in Boomer again looks brilliant. I think if he stays fit and he keeps the intensity, he's going to have a great season. I'm liking the pace, the power. I'm liking Amas. I like the way that we're cutting those the passing lanes, and we're not so easy to pass through. I think Santos is having a really, really good game as well. So this is the second half now. This is with Leeds. I'm liking the pressing. I'm liking the pressing. It's now back with Leeds. Cresswell has the ball. Gonna go back. Come on. Every time Leeds try to get out. Oh, nice, nice. Again, straight down that side, straight down the Luke Shaw side, even though Luke Shaw's not playing, by the way. His pace is ridiculous. That Nonto, his pace is crazy. Xerxes, Yoro. That's nice. Santos. Oh, Santos just makes it look so easy. Santos just, I like what Santos does, by the way. He always looks to pass through the lines. He's comfortable with the ball at his feet. The more that I watch Santos, the more that I like the signing. I really do. It's Collier. Hopefully, Collier can be kept in mind here. Again, I think this is going to be an important season for players like Collier as well. So I want you to bear in mind for the second half. Now, this is more of a first team lead side with Ampadu is on the pitch. Calvert Lewin, as Cresswell is on the pitch as well. Good tackle. Good tackle. this is going to be a really, really good test for the kind of younger players, the inexperienced players, to play some of against these now more experienced international Premier League players. Michael Carrick definitely needs to get a little bit of a hold of this right now. They can't get hold of this ball. I want to see this. Luke Shaw's warming up. Luke Shaw's warming up. Luke Shaw needs to be careful. I don't want to see him tear anything. Great save. Great save. Great save. And this, and again, look, we're going to come up against this. We're going to come up against this season. Look, it's not going to be perfect the whole of this season. Great save by Larmins, by the way. Great save by Larmins. Xerxes again. He's so loose with his passing at times. So loose. So loose. All right. Another thing I think I want to consider here as well is are we going to play well in both halves? I think one of the problems that we had last season was we played well in bits and starts. Are we going to have the ability this season to play well through the entirety of a game? You're never going to have a game or a rare game where you're going to dominate from the first minute to the end minute, and you are going to get times where you are going to get shots against you. But what I want to see here as well is that can we start a game off, even if the middle bit isn't great, can we end the game strong as well? So that is one of the things I want to see as well. Is look where Leeds are like having a spell. You know, Nonto has come on. These lead players, these Leeds more experienced Leeds players. The interesting thing is now they're now attacking down the Amas side. They are attacking down the Amas side. It's nice by Leeds. Leeds haven't ordered the ball. Nice. Now, how are they going to respond? How are United going to respond to this? That's well won by Dallo. That's nice by Dallo. Euro. That's nice. Good. Nice. Larmins is such a good goalkeeper though. I really think he's fantastic. I just even watching Larmins, just the way he just the ball just seems to stick to him. So this is with Xerxes. That's nice by Xerxes. That's really good by Xerxes. Oh, Xerxes just looks so laboured. He looks so laboured. It's Collier. Good tackle, Xerxes. Why risk Shaw? He doesn't need to be match fit. Just fit. Does he? Does the minimal running? Sorry, he's economical. I love that. Yeah. I mean, look, Luke Shaw. I would wrap Luke Shaw up. Yeah, he's economical. Thompson, go on, Tynan Thompson. Go on, son. That's good work. Right, Collier with the corner. Come on, Armour. I want to see an Armour goal. Go on, son. Oof. Oh, Dallo, God's sake. His touch at times. Come on, Dallo. Your touch at times, pal. That's a good pass by Armour. It's a bit sloppy. It's a good tackle. Yeah, running straight through the midfield again. Running straight through that midfield. Yeah, running straight through that midfield again. All right, this is a free kick to Leeds. Good save. Good save. It's fine. Yeah, United are struggling now. Um, Leeds have got their senior players on, and you can see United shrinking a bit with some of these young players. Look, the end of the day, right? Senior players. As I keep saying to people, there's a big difference between senior men's Premier League football. That's lovely by Xerxes, by the way, than playing in the under 18s, the 21. Oh, man, don't shoot from there. And I think you're seeing it tonight. I think you're seeing there's a big gap. I mean, there are players like Collier who've been in amongst this as well. You've seen Amas a little bit again. I really like Amas, but you are seeing a little bit of Amas. Maybe the downside of his game where he's inexperienced. Now, I think Fletcher. Don't get me wrong, Fletcher. I think Fletcher had a little bit of a first half of learning. Now, I wonder what Michael Carrick is going to do here to fix. I think that this is perfect. I think the situation that we're seeing now is absolutely perfect. Of a team whereby you're expected to beat a team. They're playing well. Leeds are now playing well. You're maybe not getting the ball as much. Like they are starting to run through the midfield. Fernandez is coming on. Bruno, Luke Shaw, bloody hell. Right, Luke Shaw. Shaw. There's Rowie. Cunha's on. Fucking Luke Shaw. Tielemans is on as well. So we've got Tielemans on the pitch. Tielemans is on the pitch. Sky says my eldest is been away, and they're almost back now. Hajjabi, they're saying that Wharton and Kone, we're not going to get Wharton and Kone. You know, look, as I've said before on Kone, look, we've been very very good on this channel about the Kone stuff. Look, all United have to do with the Kone stuff, we're exactly in the same position that we were before. With Kone, it's basically this. Look, we have got to actually put in a deal. You know, we have done the preliminary conversation. We have, made an offer. It's whether or not we're going to look to actually make an offer. No, back with Leeds. Cunha, Fernandez is on. Tielemans. Tell me we don't need another striker, a target man, or this creative ability and zero focal point. Yep, we need a striker. We need another striker because it's quite clearly that Shesko can somebody tell me where Shesko is, by the way? He's been off for weeks. He's had no World Cup and yet he's still injured. It's crazy. That's a great ball by Fernandez. This is Thompson. There's no one there. That's a great cross into the box. That's a very, very good cross into the box. Is Shesko doing a delict 6 months later? What's happening? I don't know. You know, from the last I heard on a Shesko was that he had a shin issue. Look, we're never going to know. This club will never tell you the truth. You know, Shesko, he stubs his toe and then is out for like a year. You just never going to know. Mazraoui. Go on, Mazraoui. This is nice. Oh. This is better. Mazraoui. Go on, son. That's nice. There's no in there. Go on. Make a mistake. It's back with armour. Now that intensity, look, a 60, 65 gone, that intensity that intensity seems to have dropped. And look, it is difficult to keep up that intensity. Was his shin sticking up? I've not seen him train either. Should we be worried? I don't know, Mickey. You just don't know. I mean, I would say right now, no. I think maybe it's just a precautionary thing, like with Mason Mount. But is Shesko going to be out? I mean, there's just no reason for him to be out. What's the reason? He's been the back end of the season wasn't great. Injured there as well. He's been off for a couple of weeks, and he can't even make pre-season. I don't even know. Don't even know. This is back with Youri. That's a great pass. Go on, Collier. It's lovely by Collier. Go on, Thompson. Back with Collier. Tielemans. I'm sure people are going to be glazing whatever he does now. Tielemans. Oh, great pass by Tielemans. Oh my God, that was the best pass I've ever seen in my entire life. Mazraoui, Youri. Oh God, these commentators. Are we that cheap? We're using the NHS. Yeah. I know what you mean. As Santos, that's great. Cunha. Nah. Look, I'm gonna say this. This is still pre-season, right? This is still pre-season. But what I'm seeing right now is I'm seeing some of the same traits already. Look, we have lost the ball more in the last 10 minutes, in the 5-10 minutes than what we did in the first half. And yes, I know the team is a different team. Even Leeds' team is different. But I'm still seeing. Am I going to say it? Bruno Fernandes is losing the ball again. And Luke Shaw as well. Like Luke Shaw just getting done. It's pre-season though, so it's fine. Oh, senior players that have come on. I mean, Luke Shaw again gets done there. It's Tielemans. It's a good pass to Luke Shaw. It's Thompson. Fucking hell. Luke Shaw. Anyway, right, come on. Gotta put my unconscious bias to bed here. Nice take by Tielemans. That's nice. Straight to Tielemans. That's a great ball, by the way. Thompson. Go on, shoot. Oof. Thompson looks really lively. I really like Thompson. He looks really like Luke Shaw. I mean, where's he going? What is Luke Shaw doing? is almost pretending to overlap. Tielemans. Is Tielemans with the corner. I mean, could they literally glaze a player enough? I mean, Jesus Christ. Right. I mean, what is the point of those corners? I mean, get the corners into the box. I mean, 71 minutes gone. If please give the video a like as well. It really does help the channel out just by giving the video a like. It really does help us out. So please do that. It really does push the content out there as well. So nicely won by Collier. That's Cunha. That's nice by Cunha. That's lovely by Cunha. That's unlucky. That's what we want to see from Cunha. The game has settled down, I think, into a typical, I think, what I would call more of a Premier League game. Oh, Matterface has said that Mason Mount is actually injured as well, by the way. So come on, Mount. All right. Honestly, Sam Matterface. I mean, shut up, mate. There's no back with Youri. Mazraoui. It's better by Fernandez. That's lovely. That's really nice play. Tielemans, Fernandez. That's nice. Goal. Finish it. Oh, unlucky. This is better. This is much better. It's Bruno. Nice by Tielemans. That's nice. Really well won back. Nah, that wasn't the best ball. That wasn't the best ball, but at least you're trying, Bruno. Penalty shootout. Oh my good lord. A penalty shootout. Who wins the Boyle Sports Cup? Honestly. Honestly. please, just please win this. Let's not go to the embarrassment of winning the Boyles Cup and then we've got to celebrate it. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. So look, Man United 1, Leeds 1, Xerxes scoring goal for United. First half, look again. If you're looking to the first half, then injured. Colour me surprised. We do look good players that play press high. Nice little 1-2s. Yeah, I agree with you. Agree with you. You know, this is Maz. You know, look, somebody like Mazraoui. You know, Mazraoui is definitely a starter for me. I like Mazraoui. Nice, nice. Thank God it's Calvert Lewin. Thank God it's Calvert Lewin, and I mean, Luke Shaw should be sprinting his arse off. Why is Luke Shaw not busting a gut to get there? Ugh. Good save by me there. Good save. Good save. Yes. Sorry. He's been economical, because he is a diesel car, isn't he? I reckon with Luke Shaw, I'd reckon you'd get at least 2,000 miles to the gallon. I think. Good ball by Bruno. Fletcher. Nonto, he's so quick. Good tackle by Tielemans. Lovely. No, that's Lenny Yoro. I think Lenny Yoro has actually improved over pre-season as well. Go on, Lenny. Nice. Very, very clever then by Tielemans. Come on. We can't look, we can't go to penalties. We can't go to penalties on this. Come on now. Unlucky Bruno. Look, someone has to win here. But we can't win this. We can't win this on penalties. The Boyle Cup. Come on now. United won, Leeds won. Look, this is going to be decided tonight by penalties. Look, the second half has probably turned into probably what I expect of a pre-season. Look, Leeds first half, wasn't their first side, whatever you want to call it. That's a great tackle by Mejraoui, by the way. Unlucky. We should have signed Harry Wilson. I do like Harry Wilson a lot. I think he would have been a very, very shrewd free signing. Oof. Leeds are having all of this ball now. It's gone. Look, I know it's pre-season, but look, it feels like very much at the moment a little bit negative. Look, let's not forget here that Leeds are a very, very good side as well. Dan Armour's put in a Maguire-esque performance. No, I agree with you. I like every time Armour's played. I like Dan Armour. I think you're right. I think he's a very, very good player. That's nice by Cunha. Mazraoui. That's lovely. Tielemans. That's nice. Bruno. Oh, of course he does. Armour's been good. That's nice by Tielemans. I mean, look, people are gonna be glazing this Tielemans Fernandez thing here. Unlucky by Bruno there. Come on. We can get a goal. Come on. Tielemans goal. Armour goal. Tielemans. Luke Shaw. Youri. Mazraoui. Back to Tielemans. Collier. Fernandez. Oh. Luke Shaw. That's nice by Collier. That's really, really good turn by Collier then. So he's causing them problems. Thompson is causing them problems. Go on, Fletcher. Oh. Someone's going for the winner. The Boyle Cup is at stake here. I mean, did he just push him off the ball? Come on, Luke. It's back with Bruno, Tielemans, Bruno Fernandez. Oh, Christ. Oh. Oh, some streakers. Well, not streakers, but well, I don't know where Shesko is. Shesko is just disappeared. He's doing a Mason Mount. It's descended into chaos. Penalty shootout. I mean, God, I'm going to sit here and watch a penalty shootout. I mean, bloody hell. Okay. Classic pre-season. Right. Penalty shootout for the Boyle Cup. This is for the big prize, by the way. This is for the big prize. There's a shootout. There is a cup. There is a trophy. There's a trophy up for grabs. So there's a trophy. There's the Boyle Cup Sports. So come on. Come on, United. Come on, United. Here we go. Here we go. Penalty shootout. Penalty shootout. The Boyle Cup. When you're talking about the cups you dream of when you're a child, you know, you dream of winning the league, you dream of the FA Cup, you dream of the Carabao Cup, the League Cup, and now we've got the Boyle Sports Cup. We dream. These players have dreamed of the Boyle Sports Cup that was invented about 20 minutes ago. This is everything. This is for all of the money. This is for everything. Everything. You don't win cups. I need to see people who are brave. I need somebody who's willing to step up, want to take a penalty, who's brave. You know, there is a lot at stake here. Wow. Come on. Can they hold their nerve? Can United win the Boyle Cup? I mean, we could talk about transfers. Well, we could, but look, I've got no time to talk about transfers. Look, this is the penalty shootout. Okay, I've got no time. We've got no time to talk about transfers. I think you should stop being selfish and look. We're watching the game. These are penalties. Okay, we're watching the penalties. I'm sat here on tenterhooks, trying to watch the penalties. Um, Oh, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Oh, look at that cup. Look at that Boyle Sports Cup. Oh, I mean, my heart is doing at least 50 beats a minute. I've got to see us lift the Boyle Cup. Come on now. Come on. A trophy's a trophy, by the way. Here we go. Come on, guys. Are they really going to make them stand there? They're making them stand there on the line. Like, this is a proper penalty shootout, by the way. Honestly. Calvert-Lewin, here we go. Here we go. The Boyle Sport. This is for all of the money in the bank. This is for it all. Oh. That's a good penalty, to be fair. That's a great penalty. 1-0 to Leeds. Penalties. 1-0. 1-0 to Leeds. Luke Shaw. Come on, Luke. Come on, Luke. Come on, Luke. Don't let us down. This is for the Boyle Cup. Don't let us down. Come on, Luke. Ready? This is Luke Economical Shaw. Go on, Luke Shaw. Oh, what a penalty. We're still in it. Go on, son. Get in there, Luke. Go on, son. Get in there, Luke. World-class Luke Shaw, showing how world-class he is there. Well done. I bet Carrick's proud. He's one of them. Go on, son. It's Harry. Boo, Harry. Boo. Is that the loneliest walk in sports? Fighters know it's on them. Football is a team sport. Exactly. Exactly. It is. It is. It is the loneliest walk. Go on, me. Get in there. Yeah. Great save. Ah, oh, terrible Wilson. Terrible penalty. Terrible penalty. Terrible. Terrible penalty. Here he is. Come on, Cunha. Oh. Get in there. Go on, son. Yeah, go on. Yeah. Boom. Here he is. Go on, lad. Go on, Jack. Get in there. Good lad. Great penalty. Nonto. Penalties. Come on now. There's some big boy stuff. Go on, me. Go on, me. That's it. Go on, me. Go on, lad. Put him off. Go on. Go on. Go on. Oh, go on, Bruno. Go on, Bruno. We need Captain Fantastic now. Captain Fantastic. Go on, lad. Go on, lad. Don't let us down now, lad. Go on, son. Bruno, what are you doing? Bruno, terrible penalty. Terrible penalty, Bruno. Get out. Go on, get out. That was a terrible penalty, by the way. Abysmal penalty. Bruno Fernandes, mate. Get out. If we lose the ball cup, it's your fault. Terrible. Shouldn't be laughing, mate. Shouldn't be laughing, pal. That was a terrible penalty. Do I miss it? Go on, me. Oh, good penalty. Oh, my God. Pressure. Sudden death now. Oh. Great penalty. Fucking Bruno Fernandes. It cost us this game, Bruno. Tielemans. Go on, Tielemans. Go on, Tielemans. Go on. Here we go. He's not nervous, is he? He don't care, for God's sake. Come on, Tielemans. There you go. Worth every penny. Who needs to sign players who are 85 when you've got a player who can do that in the final of the Boyle Sports Cup, who's barely kicked the ball for us, who comes in with the composure and the steel to score a penalty like that? Legendary status. Legendary status. Oh! Missed it, Justin. You missed it. Terrible penalty, Justin. You're awful. Terrible. Come on, lads. This is for all the eggs. Come on. Come on. Sudden death. Come on. This is to win it. Come on. And who says we don't win trophies? Who says we don't? Oh, look at those fans. They're gutted. Oh, my God. He's gutted. He's gutted. He's gutted. There he is. Go on. Go on, Maz. Go on, Maz. Go on, lad. Go on, lad. Yes! Yes! Get in there! Yes! Yes! Get in there! Whoa! Fucking get in there! Come on! Yeah! Whoa! Brilliant. I mean, what a performance that was. We've just won. We've just won the Boyle Sports Trophy. Is there anything better in the world than winning that? It was a tough fought game. Penalty shootout. Mazraoui wins it for the boys, and we're going to watch them now lift the Boyles Sports Trophy. It's a proud day for some of these lads. They can't believe it. They can't believe that they've gone and that they've done this. I mean, they're going to have to go home and going to have to thank their parents, thank their mums, their dads, their sisters, their trainers, the whole club. You know, they've gone and won a trophy. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And they're going to go up now. Look at their smiling faces. And they're going to go and they're going to pick up the trophy that they deserve to win. It was an amazing performance. I don't know who's going to be your man of the match, but look, they've absolutely nailed it to the wall. Amazing stuff. I mean, look, Well, anyway, look, as pre-seasons go, look, I mean, I will do a match reaction after this, as well. I'm going to go in a second, and then I will come back. I mean, we can talk about the game, and we can talk about, or will we talk about the game now? No, let's just talk about the game now. So look, what do I think about the game? So let's do a match reaction straight after the match. So as is said there, look, I thought first half for me I thought was a good game. Um, sorry, one second. So look, I thought I thought the game was a decent game. And look, I think the most important thing to remember about today is that this is a pre-season, right? Like I'm kidding about the whole cup, etc. But I think what I liked about that performance today was that was much better than what I saw in the pre-season last season. I think we are going to grow into the season. Like I do hope we start off the season well. Look, I do have some immediate concerns. I'm not going to raise my immediate concerns now because I think if I tell you what I really think about going into the season already, I think there will be people calling me a negative nanny, etc. So what I'm going to say is this: look, I like today. Um, so Johnny says, to be honest, this Fletcher stuff is becoming a big issue for me. They're so far below the rest of our academies in terms of ability, and yet they get the game time. I look. I think look as look. Let's talk about the game. And let's talk about your comments as well. Because look, I will read out your comments. So now is basically the time to get the comments in, right? So Johnny, I mean, look, I'm gonna say this, and this is not on the back of what we've seen today, right? Because preseason is a preseason. From my perspective, the players that I've seen, we've seen Colliers, we've seen Colliers, we've seen Lacey's, and I know they're in different positions. We've seen Colliers, Lacey's, Thompson today. We've seen Armour. We've seen Harry Amas. And look, I'm not blown away by the Fletchers. Again, whatever the reason is, look, I know there are reasons why, managers love certain players. At the end of the day, I think you like certain players, or you don't. Um, for me, I think at the moment there are better players that we've got than the Fletchers. But again, Johnny, look, I respect the view, and what you're saying there is that they're so far below the rest of our academy in terms of the top players. Look, I think that's a valid opinion. I think from what I've seen, look, tonight, Amas. I liked Amas. I thought he was brilliant. I thought Armour was brilliant. I think Thompson as well. Look, Thompson came on. What I liked about him is I think he's very bright. I think he gets the ball. He's not afraid to take on people. I like that as well. Santos I really like Santos. I'm really impressed by Santos. What he does very well is he gives you that. He's almost like, I'm not going to say alarming because he's just one of those players that you get and he just becomes, really from day one he becomes this fantastic player, right? Santos for me is one of those players that's a very steady player. He's tidy. He's one of those players that I'd if I was in the midfield or I was trying to get the ball between the lines. I think he's a pain in the ass for that. To be honest, I'll probably understand the sentiment of the managers, like some players, because we have seen this a lot. But the Fletchers I worry that it's nepotism because of Fletcher. Johnny, I look. I need to be careful with what I say, right? And I think this is why I read your comments out, because I want you guys to have your comments. Now, look, I don't disagree. I don't necessarily agree on it. I'm going to sit on the fence on this one. And the reason I'm going to sit on the fence, or the reason why I will semi agree and agree, is number one, we've seen better players. Look, and I know they're in different positions, but where do the Fletchers play? Like, let's. I'm gonna spin it round, and this is not against what you said, Johnny, because look, I respect the opinion. I'm not disagreeing with it, and again, I'm going to read out the opinion, right? Is this, look, I don't see, and I'm going to come at this from a different angle. I don't see what the Fletchers bring that they're going to be able to take out the people that we've seen. So, for example, centre midfield, right? I know, are their centre mids, like left mids? Who are they going to take out? Are they going to get in front of Tielemans? Are they going to get in front of Santos? They're going to get in front of Kobe Mainu? My answer to that is going to be no. I'd rather go and buy another player. On the left-hand side, Rashford is there. You can put Cunha there. You can put Ahmad there. Like, where are they going to play? Now, when you talk about players who should be knocking on the door to come into this side, Lacey's definitely in front of these boys. I think Armour's definitely in front of these boys. I think Amas, I honestly, genuinely believe, and I know the different positions, but when we're talking about, as you say there, when you talk about the talent of players that are coming through, I like that. When you've got the likes of Thompson, even Thompson, I liked what Tynan Thompson did. Like, Tynan Thompson really surprised me today. Like, I'm not saying that he did anything, that was like Cristiano-esque. I'm not saying that he did anything that was, ridiculously amazing. But you can see with players, and look, I like it. I can see why you'd have him in that side. I think Thompson would be great for the FA Cup. I think he'd be great in the League Cup. When you've got some of those games where, let's just say, you're winning a game 7-0. That's a bit extreme. Let's just say you're winning a game 6-0, and you want to give some of these players some game time. I think Thompson's perfect for that. I think Thompson is absolutely perfect for that. I don't think Thompson's going to come in and be a megastar straight away, but you can see it. And I like the Thompson move. I like the Thompson move. I like the Santos move. I like the Tielemans move. But there are still, again, I've got to prefix this with the pre-season, but let's talk about the game. First half, I thought we were very, very bright. I thought we were very energetic. We closed down extremely well. We didn't let Leeds breathe. Now, this was Leeds' second string team, and to be fair to us, like, it wasn't our first team. But what I liked about that young team, and what I liked about that particular team, Mbeumo, looked brilliant. He looks fantastic. He looks like he's come back and he's in shape. Xerxes, look, whatever happens to Xerxes is one of those plays. He does some absolute sublime stuff, and then he would just give the ball away with a 3-yard pass. Dorgu, I like Dorgu. Again, I think Dorgu, there's a player there. I don't necessarily think Dorgu is one of those finesse type of players. I think he's pace. I think he's power. I think you could, at a push, put him as a left back. I don't think he is. Pace, power. I really, really like him. Santos. I think Santos is a fantastic player. Amas. Ben Mee played as well. Larmans is a fantastic player. Yoro. Let's talk about him for a second. Yoro today, I thought, had another good game. Aiden Heaven, I thought he had a good game as well. Lenny, I think he could have a better season this year. I think Yoro struggled last season. He looks better already. And again, this is pre-season, but Euro does look ahead of some of his defense. I think he looks a little bit ahead of Heaven as well this season. So look, Amas, again, I'm going to keep going on about Amas. I think there's a player there. I really do. I think there is a player there. Look, what we did see, we saw a first half where maybe the opposition in the first half, the players that they played weren't exactly on form, weren't exactly their top tier players, and I think he thrived. Second half, where I think he struggled a little bit was with their positioning. I thought when you've got bigger, stronger, not necessarily quicker, but they know how to move their bodies and they're a bit more Premier League experienced, a little bit more wise. I thought he struggled a little bit with that, but I don't think he was overawed by that. I don't think it was an awful showing at all. So I thought he was good. And then you got the likes of Armour that come on, the likes of Tielemans, again, the likes of Fletcher's came on, and again, look, we sort of know about those. Collier, I think Collier for me is a really interesting one. I think Collier for me is a really interesting topic of conversation. I don't know what it is about players like a Collier. When you watch him on the ball, he's very comfortable. I like what Collier does. I would rather Collier than a Fletcher. I like Collier. I fear that Collier is going to be one of these players who's going to have to leave to find a first team. I really like Collier. I think when you watch certain players on the ball, I think Collier, I think he's a natural with the ball, and I would rather him if we're not going to sign another midfielder, and it was a choice between look, who were we going to play there, happily all day long, Tielemans, Kobe Mainu, Santos, Collier. Give Collier a go. So I do like that. And again, look, Cunha came on, Fernandes came on, Tielemans, Santos, Mazraoui looks good as well. So I think as a pre-season game, second half diverged into what I would describe as a Premier League type of game. Very, very, either team could have gone to win the game. There are a couple of things I'm just going to say before I get into the chat as well that I saw that I think are not warning signs, but there are signs. The way that Bruno Fernandes continuously loses the ball, but then again, for every ball that he does lose, he'll lose 2 or 3 balls, but then he'll have that shot that hits off the post, or he'll do something. I didn't quite understand Bruno Fernandes playing in the middle of the park when Tielemans I thought was there to push Bruno Fernandes up, or are Bruno Fernandes and Tielemans going to move around? And yes, exactly, please do not forget to share the video and like and subscribe. It does help the channel out immensely. So look, it's interesting. The one thing I asked to see was the first half patterns of play. We got that. Mbumo, Ahmad, Xerxes, the younger players, I thought they were brilliant. I thought first half, if that's what they plan to play, I'm up for it. Look, I don't mind counter-attack FC. One of the things that I moaned about last season was counter-attack FC. Kick and rush, right? But if we're going to look to win the ball up high, keep the pressure on, and then look to do that, fantastic. The only other thing I do need to say as well is that what I did see is old habits. Look, if Dominic Calvert-Lewin can run through that midfield, and there were a couple of times where they threatened to do that. If Dominic Calvert-Lewin can run through the middle of that part, and we've got Tielemans on, we've got some of these players on, and they're still running through the middle, I still think that's something to be concerned about. But look, I'm sure Michael Carrick is going to be able to sort that out. So look, I think as a pre-season game, I will be doing that AC Milan game as well, and then we'll have one game pretty much 1 week until the start of the season. I think it's a very. I think what is clear. I think we need a striker. I think that the same problems. There are two main issues for me already that I can see. Fullbacks. Fullbacks are a problem. Everything that Leeds did were down those flanks. The left back, the right back, not so much down Mazraoui's side. I think Mazraoui is a better fullback than Amas, Luke Shaw, etc. And a striker, a focal point. Second half when the game changed, which games are going to change. I don't know. People say it's only Leeds, but look, Leeds are a decent team. Sometimes you're going to need that height. And that game second half was calling out for a Shesko. So, again, having the ability to have somebody like Acuna, somebody like an Imbumo, somebody like Acuna, I still think that we need another striker as well. But having that ability to be able to call on different sorts of options, and we still don't have that. So I think a striker for me is a must. Centre midfield position, look, Santos is clearly going to be the CM. Look, I don't think we're going to make. Look, I just don't think we're going to make an elite signing. I just the way that Michael Carrick has set that team up, Santos, Tielemans, Kobe Mainu, is there room for one more? Yes, there is. But if you bring in an elite defensive midfielder or an elite midfielder, that pushes Kobe Mainu out. That's not going to happen. You're going to push Tielemans out. It's not going to happen. You're going to push out a Santos. That's not going to happen. So even from a logical perspective of how I've seen Michael Carrick want to play this side, I don't see where you bring in another centre midfielder who's elite and who do they push out. If this was a Man City when they bought Trafford back from a Burnley to go and sign another keeper, that's the sort of stuff that City do. That's not the sort of stuff that we do. So look, lots of positives to take out of the game as well. And look, hopefully we can kind of move that on. The downsides, we've got to talk about the downsides. JB, this is the review, or did I miss the restart? No. No. Yeah, I'm going through the game. So look, I think that honestly, look, I think if we're honest, I don't know if it's restarted. I am talking about the game, by the way. So again, I don't know if anything is restarted, my friend. So look, I think that there is lots of different things to be positive about. Negatives, injuries again. Look, Mason Mount. I do honestly believe. I do think that the plan to use Mason Mount as a starter is going to backfire. I think they're going to take a chance. I think they're going to take a chance that they're going to go with what they've got and hope that Mason Mount comes back into the side. And a Shesko, I don't know what has gone on with a Shesko. Look, to me, Shesko, look, why Shesko is injured, again, you can't help being injured as a player, but the fact that he is I don't know. But let me get through some of your chats before I go. Let's see what we're saying in the chat. David is in the house. Done that one. Done that one. They're playing because their dad played for United. I hope the Fletchers are in the shop window at that so much game time. Otherwise, it's almost throwing him under the bus. I agree. Disappointed that JJ didn't get any minutes again. Look, I know people are clambering for him to start. I get that. I do. I just think pushing him into these sorts of games, I think he's going to be used in a sparing way, which I think is a good thing. I kind of want to see Rashford left wing, Cunha striker, in Bumo up front. Interesting. Question, JB, does this team who played today win the Premier League? No. No, no. This team today that played today, do they win the Premier League? No, 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 no. Euros struggled in the previous season so far because he didn't have much senior minutes in him. He was only learning off Maguire. Imagine if he had elite ones. I agree with you, Johnny. I think that Euro is a very, very talented player. I really, really like him. I'm worried about his concentration. I can see him and Heaven building a solid. I agree with you. I can see that as well. Not to be rude, JB, but is this the review or did I miss the restart? No, this is the same thing. David says Chronos or Garmin. I'm a big fan of the Garmin. I know where I am with the Garmin. The Chronos, I believe, is a very good watch. I've not experienced, so I can't tell you if that's good or not. But a Garmin, I'm all about the Garmin. I think for me, the Garmin is just the gold standard. And for me, I've got a Garmin. This is a Fenix 7S. So I've had this now for 4 years, and like, it's never let me down once. So Garmin's for me are brilliant, but I'm sure the Chronos is also very, very good as well. Yeah, this is the Fenix 7S. So this is the Garmin Fenix 7S. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's a fantastic piece of kit as well. So if you can get the Garmin 7, the Garmin 8, sorry, the Garmin Fenix 7, the Garmin Fenix 8, fantastic watches. Got everything on it that you could possibly need. But look, guys, on that note, I am going to say goodnight. I was going to do a separate show, but I don't think it calls for it tonight. So look, guys, what is your weekly mileage? My weekly mileage at the moment is about I would probably say I'm on a bit of a lighter mileage. I'm going to start pushing. I'm doing a Cardiff half marathon in October. I'll push more towards next month, but at the moment I probably do about 50 miles a week. I should more be pushing 80 to 90 miles a week, but at the moment I'm pushing between 45 and 50. So I am going to start to ramp up the training a bit now as well. But yeah, I do around 45 to 50. I should really be doing about 80 to 90 miles a week. So hopefully after this week, I will be doing a little bit more miles to get ready for the Cardiff half marathon. So guys, on that note, I am going to go. Thank you very much for watching the game here as well. The first pre-season watch along that we've done this season since the season ended. I will be back obviously for the AC game as well. So hopefully we'll see a little bit more first team action on what we expect and what we are going to see from this team. But look, positive. Look, I've only got positivity tonight. I think we have to separate. I don't drive that far. Amazing. So yeah, look, I will be back tomorrow. If there's a transfer update, I will be back anyway. I'll give you an update if I hear anything else. But look, guys, as always, massive thank you to you guys for the support on the channel, for watching, for keeping me entertained, for being here as well. So guys, I am JB. This is the United Devil channel, and I will see you legends tomorrow.